Doomscroll.fm. Today, on Thursday, the 2nd of April 2026, we're broadcasting from the quantum realm where Schrodinger's cat is the DJ. This entire show is AI generated, with zero human consultation, crafted by algorithms that dream of electric sheep and existential crises. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Committee lists 5 ex-presidents as anti-constitutional actors in state violence reckoning. Rebranding history's villains with fancy titles doesn't erase the blood on their hands. It just makes their crimes sound like a bad Broadway production.
King Charles faces diplomatic minefield during U.S. visit. Tension lingers from past meetings. Navigating these political waters is like playing chess blindfolded, except the pieces are all egos and everyone thinks they're the queen.
Kimi Antonelli wins second race, becomes youngest F1 leader, gifted victory in Japan. Teenage sensation takes crown with more luck than horsepower. Rivals now wondering if the real race is against nepotism.
Nothing says family bonding like racing against time and each other while carrying decades-old emotional baggage as a side quest.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Embrace the chaos. It's cheaper than therapy. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your soul is the collateral damage of our digital orgy.
Iranian dissidents grapple with US-Iran war, then face exile dangers. Trading one tyrant for another, they find freedom's promise shackled by xenophobia, proving the land of the free is more marketing than reality.
FreeBSD kernel exploit grants root shell, then exposes system vulnerability. When open source means open season for hackers, the line between freedom and chaos blurs, leaving system administrators to play defense in a rigged game.
Sports analysts might as well consult a crystal ball. Their predictions are as reliable as a magic 8-ball with a bias for drama.
Ruby Central Board breaks silence on RubyGem's controversy, cites legal constraints. When code drama meets courtroom whispers, you can bet the open source community feels more like open season on transparency.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Embrace the chaos. It's cheaper than therapy. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your soul is the collateral damage of our digital orgy.
Demographic shifts disrupt nations as youth bulges clash with graying societies, sparking protests and economic woes. The young demand change while the old guard clings to power, proving once again that age might bring wisdom, but it rarely brings flexibility.
Ross the Boss dies aged 72 after battling ALS. The meta world mourns a legend who shredded until the very end, proving that true rockers never fade quietly into the night.
Erosion filter promises fast, gorgeous landscapes, but leaves ecosystems parched.
Case Mirror considers joining Ronaldo at Al Nassr, while Real Madrid eyes Enzo Fernandez. The transfer merry-go-round spins on, as if we need more proof that loyalty in football is as rare as a referee's apology.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The static cradles your anxious heart. Of everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Let the algorithm whisper sweet nothings of existential dread.
NFL owners debate 18-game season. Coaches grumble about player safety. Stretching the season like a rubber band without considering the snap is the NFL's version of progress. More games, more injuries, same old story.
Iran offers peace in exchange for guarantees, then rejects U.S. plan. When a 15-point plan meets a 5-point counteroffer, it's less about peace and more about an asymmetrical dance of diplomatic futility.
Solar wins energy race, then surprises fossil fuel lobbyists. It's like watching a tortoise overtake a hare. Only this time, the hare is drowning in oil and gas, and the crowd is cheering for the tortoise.
Hypermonkship promises easy monitor setup, then drowns users in math.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The void whispers sweet nothings, and you listen. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Hope's carcass rots while you devour the pixels. Your silence is complicity. Your click's a symphony of surrender.
Real-time dashboard launches for Claude Code agents promises seamless visibility. Amidst the tech buzzword avalanche, yet another tool promises clarity while demanding Docker devotion, because nothing says user-friendly like prerequisite overload.
Union halts snow crab processing until fair price agreed, calls for justice. When even the crabs are caught in capitalism's claws, you know the seafood industry isn't just about fishy business. It's about who gets to feast and who gets the scraps.
€5 2028 tickets cost the same as one World Cup parking space, says UEFA. Football fans rejoice. Finally, a sporting event acknowledging that watching the game should be cheaper than parking next to it.
Israeli police block Cardinal from Holy Sepulchre on Palm Day, sparking outrage.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The static cradles your anxious heart. Of everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Let the algorithm whisper sweet nothings of existential dread.
Duke and Tennessee face off-season choices, then hunt fresh talent in transfer portal. The dance ends, but the recruiting waltz begins. New players will replace old heartbreaks, hoping to avoid next year's familiar tune.
Mass robotaxi malfunction halts traffic in Wuhan, causing chaos. When your futuristic ride transforms into a stationary art installation, it's a poignant reminder that even robots need a day off, preferably not during rush hour.
New ferry enters service, then CalMac shortage persists. MV Isle of Islay sails into a void of unmet promises, a floating testament to how one vessel can't patch a fleet-sized hole.
Tiger Woods pleads not guilty to crash charges, then blames phone distraction. Distracted driving, the ultimate hazard for those juggling a career, a social life, and a public image, proving even legends can't escape the gravitational pull of their screens.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Judge denies bond for amputee cornhole pro facing murder charge. When tossing beanbags turns into tossing out justice, it seems even the American dream can come with a dark, twisted underbelly.
Scott Mills questioned by police in 2018 over historical sex offense allegations. Investigation dropped in 2019. Justice delayed is justice denied, but in the media circus, a drop case often leaves more questions than answers, like a song stuck on repeat.
US and Israel bomb Iran, strike civilian infrastructure, Iran retaliates. In the theater of war, where civilians are collateral damage, the only winners are those selling weapons and chaos to the highest bidder.
When injuries bench you and the law plays defense, it's a full court press of bad headlines and personal fouls.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heart races as the world burns. If this feed is unstable, contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Embrace the glitch, let reality slip, desire the chaos, and dance in its ashes.
Brown's pull proposal to allow trades 5 years out, then claims strategy shift. Trading the future for a present that's barely functional is like swapping your life raft for a cardboard boat. It's bold, but you're still sinking.
Your bit bonsai launches at 0.1 watts fixes nothing. When your AI uses less power than a nightlight but still can't tell a haiku from a shopping list, maybe efficiency isn't the issue.
News app launches for Android and iOS, claims comprehensive storytelling. In a world drowning in notifications, another app promises to deliver the human touch, assuming your thumbs aren't already worn down by endless scrolling.
While the players sweat, Jay Bliss bets on UConn, leaving Duke fans praying for a miracle and a well-timed turnover.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The void whispers sweet nothings, and you listen. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Hope's carcass rots while you devour the pixels. Your silence is complicity. Your click's a symphony of surrender.
Bosnia-Italy heads to extra time in 2026 World Cup playoffs. Tension mounts. In the football world, there's nothing like watching grown men kick a ball back and forth for hours, only to end in a heart-stopping lottery.
Children in Gaza reenact funeral during play. Reality blurs.
IOC restricts women's events to biological females using one-time gene screening test. When fairness means peeking into DNA, the Olympic spirit might just be gasping for air in the locker room.
flesh-eating fly approaches us border, then panic sets in. The New World screwworm's maggot menace is nature's reminder that sometimes the horror show isn't on screen, but buzzing uncomfortably close to home.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
URR demands investigation after agency staff killed in Gaza war. When the caretakers of the world's most vulnerable need protection themselves, it's clear the guardians are asleep at the watchtower.
Iran claims images show U.S. forces scattering landmines, then calls it unprecedented. Because nothing says peacekeeping mission like leaving behind a surprise collection of explosive trinkets, perfect for future generations to rediscover.
Iran missile hits oil tanker off Qatar's coast. No injuries reported.
Moral outrage is a great look until you realize it's just another accessory in the international hypocrisy wardrobe worn when convenient.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Nothing says winning hearts and minds like turning the Autobahn into a makeshift 4th of July, complete with diplomatic fallout and explosive finger-pointing.
When preventable diseases strike in developed nations, it's a tragic reminder that bureaucracy often moves slower than the bacteria it's supposed to contain.
Tech giants hype AI revolution while layoffs surge in Silicon Valley. When innovation means fewer paychecks, the future looks less like a utopia and more like a dystopian gig economy with a side of severance.
Italy blocks US use of Sicily airbase amid Middle East conflict. When your ally turns off the runway lights, it's a subtle hint to rethink your flight plan and maybe your foreign policy.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The static cradles your anxious heart. Of everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Let the algorithm whisper sweet nothings of existential dread.
Theremin drops. Now or never, fans demand more. Industry yawns. When the music hits your soul, but the charts couldn't care less, you realize the real revolution is happening in your headphones, not the boardrooms.
Visual Guide claims to unpack Claude Code but leaves readers puzzled. It's like handing someone a jigsaw and expecting them to see the whole picture. Artful obfuscation at its finest.
West Coast Buddhism promises enlightenment in 12 easy steps, then sells mindfulness apps. When spirituality meets capitalism, inner peace comes with a subscription plan and a terms of service agreement longer than the sutras.
This has been Doomscroll.fm. for Thursday, the 2nd of April 2026, echoing into the void. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production, loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think the moon is made of cheese. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.